Come on, Tacoma. You know you're beautiful. Today on the ManSpace. Welcome to the ManSpace podcast. We're your hosts, Doctors Matt Brown and Rob Porter, and clinical therapist Mike Porter. Welcome, Spacemen. It happened, dude. It's there. It's recording fine.
What?
Did you what? Are we what? Are we what?
Are we talking about Tacoma today? Like, is this our Washington themed episode?
No, it was funny. I actually was thinking, let's dust off that old chestnut, because I think I've actually used that quote before. I think it was at the end of an episode a long time ago, because it's Ryan told me about it up in, because Tacoma has this reputation for stinking. And it's one of the towns up in Seattle that gets made fun of, which, as I've said on this show before, every time I hear about, people are like, oh yeah, Federal Way. You go to Federal Way, you're like, this place is freaking beautiful. Like, have you guys been to Lubbock? Stop complaining about anywhere in the Pacific Northwest.
Well, you live in Texas, so
it doesn't matter. That's what I'm saying. There's no place on the western part of the Cascades that you could say this place is a dump. It's like,
yeah,
it's still freaking pretty.
Yeah. Well, I remember when we were first married, like, I've always thought Utah was a beautiful place, right?
Everyone, yeah, go ahead.
Dude, especially if you're going to compare it to Texas, it is way prettier than Texas.
No, listen, I don't agree at all. Like, it's prettier
cool.
It's prettier than Lubbock, but Utah's mountains, they're pretty for like 3 weeks on the outside. They're pretty when you get into them, but there's a waiting line to get into them.
That's true.
So it's kind of like, and the rest of it's just desert.
Yeah, but when you're in Salt Lake, they've manicured it very well.
But it's manicured.
Right, but it's still trees.
Okay, fine.
Like, there's still trees everywhere. So
some of them are pretty trees. Cottonwood trees
blossoms
are not
in the
pretty.
fall. You get color, or you get blossoms in the spring. You get colors in the fall.
Yeah.
Like,
okay, fine.
Anyway, my point is, like, I've always thought it's, pretty. But I remember going to Seattle for a wedding, one of Jenner's siblings' weddings. And just thinking, like, coming back home and being like, oh my gosh, this place is terrible. Like, Utah's the worst.
That's what I like when I come back here and I'm flying in and you can see it's like green everywhere. I'm like, that's pretty.
Yeah.
I like green too much.
Me too.
Like, anywhere desert is like, meh.
Yeah. Which Jenner doesn't. I still find beauty, like, in Arizona. I think it's pretty.
It's not. There's parts.
It's
that
a
I
different
think are
kind of desert.
There's parts that I think are pretty.
I mean, like, when you're out in the desert, I think it's pretty.
Yeah, I've never been a fan of desert. I don't like dryness very much. Like, I know it's cool, but like I prefer humidity because it feels like life.
Yeah, that's true. We met. There's some ladies moving into the area, and she's been living in Florida. And I said, it's not humid here. Like, you're coming from Florida. This is not going to feel humid to you. Because everyone's like, oh, no, it's humid. And I'm like, no, it's not.
Missouri?
Yeah. Because people here love to complain about how humid it is. Yeah. And, like,
it's funny because
compared to Texas, it is not humid.
Well, it's funny because Matt and I have talked about this because we have a common friend who also came from Alabama, and she said Houston was way worse than Alabama. And I was like, I don't know, maybe it had to do with, like, when I first went to Alabama, but I thought Alabama was way more humid than Houston is. But I don't know.
Yeah. Well, and I had friends from Florida, and they're like, they agreed that Texas was a very humid place. And they're like, and I'm like, compared to Florida, they're like, oh, no. Like, compared to Florida, it's nothing.
Yeah.
And so I told the site, I was like, oh, you'll be fine. And she goes, but it's not like dry, like Utah. I was like, no. Although, like, in the winter, like, I get so incredibly dry here.
Yeah.
compared to
having,
Texas.
This is like the most old man conversation.
I know, right?
Let's move on to
Why,
something
Rob?
something that I've been thinking about.
Just something more masculine?
No, it's probably not. Well, I don't know. It's more personal to me.
Oh.
I mean, well, I don't know. I always find a way to say this is personal, and I find a way to make it sound not personal when I describe it. But
deep dive into Rob.
Deep dive into Lake Rob. Dive down deep and find whatever it is that's troubling you. Dude, as a side note, I just finished today 11 years of Cheers.
Congratulations.
That was funny. I turned to Becky. I was like, I just finished watching 11 years of Cheers. So
I'm curious, is Woody Harrelson as funny on that show as he is now?
He's very funny in a very different way.
Like Woody Harrelson, like the more I think about like his acting, I'm like, oh, I think he's way better than we ever give him credit for.
I mean, he's very funny on it, but he's very country bumpkin funny.
Yeah, but I think anyway, he
sells it well.
Tangent. I think he's a very good actor, and I think we underappreciate him.
So here's the thing I've been thinking about.
Okay.
The direct way of I think the overarching topic is how do I build confidence in myself?
Mm-hmm.
We've talked about confidence before, and I've thought about this for myself. I've thought about talking to my kids and the way they respond to like thinking, no, I know this person thinks this about me, and it's like, what, you know, like, or and I've thought things like that, like how people respond to me. Mike, we've talked about this on the show, that you at least initially used to worry like that we'd be like, I mean, I guess then there's Mike. And
don't worry, I still worry that sometimes.
Okay. But then I'm going to use Marianne as an example of this, because Marianne and I, when we hang out, we play Dr. Mario. Now, for those, it doesn't happen on the new one, but for those, and new meaning Super Nintendo.
Right, but got it.
For those who've not played Dr. Mario, it's a game where you have this little bottle full of pills, red, blue, and yellow pills. Sorry, not pills, little viruses. And the pills drop from the top of the bottle. They're either half of one color and half of another, or one solid color. And you have to basically line up 4 and get rid of viruses before your opponent does. I'm better.
I can't believe you just
game.
Explained or Dr. Mario to our listeners.
I can't believe not only did I explain it, but I explained it poorly. I think people go, what? But here's why I explain it. I'm very good at Dr. Mario. At this point in my life, I have not played with somebody who can beat me consistently. Every once in a while, my kid will get a game on me, and every once in a while, Marianne will. But Marianne usually has to be a level down. She does not. She only recently went down a level, and she is not happy about it, because now she feels like, well, if I win, it's not the same. Becky will play me now. She's getting into it. She plays 4 or 5 levels down for me, because I'm just that good. My favorite is to be like, when I'm winning, to say, guys, look at my screen. It's completely tidy and clean. I've made it so that all my pills are being used correctly on the viruses, and there's nothing left over. It's so stupid. Like, I can admit I have the dumbest things that I can hang my hat on. That's like, I'm really good at that. For some reason, I've mentioned this on the show before. I can see the side paneling of a car, 6 inches worth, and be like, oh, that's a Hyundai Elantra. Like, even roughly the year. Stuart can do the same thing, or I'll see headlights in the dark and be like, oh, that's a Nissan Maxima. I don't know why. It's getting harder now because lights all short. Actually, I can still do it, but totally worthless talent, if you want to call it that. But when we're playing with Dr. Mario and I beat Marianne, I'm always so arrogant about it, because it's delightful to do. she'll go, that's okay. I'm good at lots of other things. And she genuinely means it. Like, she's never worried. If she sucks at something, she's like, that's okay. I'm good at other things. Like, and it is the most like refreshing thing to me to hear, like, oh, that's okay. I don't put all my stock in this thing, like I'm okay being like, yeah, I'm not very good at that. And so I've been thinking about this idea of like, how do I get to a point where I feel confident enough in myself and kind of the core of who I am that it doesn't throw me off if I'm in a room full of smarter people, or if I'm not sure this could ever happen, if I meet a person who is better at Dr. Mario. I genuinely don't think it'll happen. I mean, at this point, it's pretty well established.
I love that this is, I mean, the topic of our conversation today is essentially Dr. Mario.
Well, just like in therapy, I tell my clients, don't get lost in the content. This is about the process of what we're talking about.
And you thought we were old men before.
Well, we were talking about the weather, and is it good dry or anyway?
Dude,
what's
just
best
saying,
for my lawn?
We're now talking about Dr. Mario, which explains the dry conversation from before because we're that old.
Okay, but
no,
the question is still the same. Like, because and it's not even like I've decided something in my head that I have to do. That actually it ties into our last episode. But go ahead, say whatever you're going to say.
Well, I have a couple of thoughts on it. Like, one, it's hard for me to not see Mare's response
as trying to like boost herself.
Yeah, now she probably believes it.
Oh, she 100% does. You can hear it in her tone and everything about her, and she'll be like, "Oh, she can list them off for you."
But once upon a time, it was probably how she kept herself from dipping.
Okay.
Right? Like it was a hey, it's okay. There's other things you're good at, right?
Okay.
And now it's just become right. So you hear it as this like, wow, that's impressive confidence. And I'm sure it is now. But I think, yeah, once upon a time, it probably wasn't impressive confidence. Once upon a time, it was probably a little more of a soothing technique. Like it's I've mentioned this before, my wife's friend's friend who, like when she gets met with trials during the day will say, everyday miracles are the norm or something like that. Something about miracles being normal. And her friend's like, wow, she just has such a positive attitude. I said, you do realize that she's saying that because in the moment she's questioning it. Like, that's why she's saying it, because she's having that brief moment where it's like, oh, holy crap, I don't know how this is going to work out. And so she's reminding herself, oh, wait a minute. Miracles are the everyday. Like, okay, I got this. Right. And I said, you're actually watching her question whether or not everything's going to be okay. And so, like, it's not that your friend is this like constantly living up here. No, you're watching your friend probably dip slightly and then knowing, oh, wait a minute, this is not right. This doesn't have to be. And I think, yeah, again, do I think that's where Marianne's at now? No, but maybe once upon a time.
I mean, I will say this about Marianne. I think it's actually a gift that she has.
Yes.
So I think, but I do agree in general, and I don't think that's a bad thing. I think
I don't either at all.
Yeah.
Because your question was, where does it come from? And so part of me thinks, well, that's where it comes from. It comes because somewhere she was questioning it. And so she started saying, hey, wait a minute. Dr. Mario doesn't define me.
It does define me. And I'll take it.
And so, as she started to feel bad because she sucked at Dr. Mario, which is funny because I remember losing to Mare as a kid all the time. So I think, well, if she sucks at Dr. Mario, what does that say about me?
More,
I've
what does
given
it
up.
say about me?
I don't try to beat you anymore. Like the dumb games on Indeed.
Oh,
Wait, is that the place we play? Where's LinkedIn?
Indeed. Yeah, LinkedIn. There's 2 games on there that I can play fast. The other, like Connections and
No,
the
well,
New York Times games.
those aren't it. Yeah,
The New York Times games, dude. I am so bad at those. The
yeah,
Pips games, dude. I cheat on those all the time.
yeah. I don't cheat all the time, but I like
The hard one, I cheat on the hard one like 80% of the time.
Yeah.
After
No.
8 minutes, I hit 8 minutes, and I'm going to rage throw my phone. So I just go look up. I just want a hint. Why can't you just why isn't there a button that says reveal one tile?
Yeah.
Not the whole freaking thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ah, Pip.
Anyway, my point is because we'll go through and you'll play all the games in LinkedIn.
Yeah.
And like you pretty consistently beat me on all of them.
Yeah. I mean,
and it's one of those things where like when like you're faced with that, it's like, yeah, I have 2 choices here. Like one, ultimately I recognize, yeah, these are just games. I don't care.
Right.
Like no one's keeping score. Like even our game of pool that we've been playing for what, almost probably at this point, probably close to 9,000 games.
Oh yeah.
8,000 games.
How many of you want? Anyway, go ahead.
I don't know. Well, that's the thing. Like we actually do keep score there, but it's not like we talk about it often.
Yeah.
Like every few months, one of us will, curiosity be like, so where are you at? But there is that, right? I think there's something to be said for deciding what's going to define you. Or how am I going to, right? What are the things that are going to, is it going to be Dr. Mario? It's possible.
Yeah, I agree. Like, I think you're going in the direction. Like I kind of smiled because I was like, oh, it's funny. I think we're close to 8,000 games probably because I have 4,200 wins.
Yeah, I have 30.
So we're probably.
I think I'm over 35.
Okay, so we're pushing 8,000 games.
Yeah,
but and then I thought, oh, and then we're talking about these LinkedIn games, and I'm talking about Dr. Mario. I was like, sounds like that's what defines me. And then I look through and think, how much am I spending time playing games on my phone? Shoot. but excuse me. The reason I mention this is because I've been thinking. I try to be clear about this. I don't actually think I'm as cool and amazing as I make myself sound. Because on the show, for example, I talk all the time about what a cool guy I am, and I like to talk about how I beat you and all these things. It's because, I mean, still, I've been doing this job for 20 years, and still I'm like, what if I actually suck at this? like on a consistent basis, not just sometimes. Like, I can have 6 amazing sessions and 1 bad one, and after the bad one, it's like, so is it true? Am I really bad at this?
Yeah.
So I clearly have these things. It's like, I need to be the danger with actually saying, hey, everyone, look how good at Dr. Mario I am, is that I am hanging my hat on the wrong things. Not to say that's the wrong thing per se, but like, it's something that's like, if it's based on I beat everybody, that's the problem for me. Because it's like, what happens when I meet the person who beats me? My brain is kind of like, oh, now they're the best and I'm nothing. I'm just Mary Ann in this scenario. So, but what I was thinking about this is, I've been wondering, we've talked before about how I have clients do an exercise that most of them have a real resistance to doing, but will do it, most of them. And we'll say it's helpful. They just don't like doing it, which is like writing nice things about themselves on the mirror or saying nice things. And I've just been thinking about, like, man, I have got to be nicer to myself than I am. I've got to be in a genuine way, not like the Dr. Mario way. like I actually just watched this topic didn't come from watching 11 years of Cheers. in the final episode, Norm kind of tells Sam, I knew you'd come back. That's the whole thing. He was going to leave with Diane because Diane comes back for the last 3 episodes.
Yeah.
And he said, I knew you'd come back because you always come back to your
way to ruin Cheers.
I'm sorry. I know. Yeah. Who's going to look that up? It's like ruining MASH. Guess what? They all go home. But he says, you always come back to your one true love. And then Sam realizes, he's like, what do you mean? He's like, you'll figure it out. And then he realizes that the bar is his one true love.
Yeah.
And he kind of stands there and he goes, I'm the luckiest guy in the world, or something like that. And it's kind of an interesting, like, just recognizing, like, hey, my life is pretty great, actually. Like, I got a lot of stuff going for me. And I think most of us feel stupid doing that, but I've been thinking more and more about, like, man, that I think is really freaking important. Not just when it's like I'm confronted with a trial during the day, but like it's a Tuesday at 10:30 to say, hey, I'm good at a lot of things, like, and to actually be, not just say it out loud to remind yourself, but actually be grateful for, like, oh, this is a pretty, like, if I died today, it's a pretty good life I've lived. Like, I'm pretty proud of what I've done. This podcast reaches at least 7 people. I'm pretty proud of what I've done.
It's probably only 6. Jenner told me she hasn't been listening for a while.
Dang it, Jenner. Becky's told me that. She's like,
I was going to say, I think she was the last of the wives to.
No, Becky still listens sometimes. She told me just recently.
I was going to say, I think she was the last one to listen consistently.
Oh, maybe Becky.
Because she used to, like, not miss a week.
Oh, Becky stays caught up. She'll go through and listen to like 3 or 4.
Oh yeah, no, Jenner's not caught up. Hasn't been.
What I tell Becky to do, I'm like, hey Becky, don't listen for like 6 months, and then go through and download a whole bunch all at once, and it helps our numbers look good. I do, as I think I've told you before, people have been like, how's the podcast going? I'm like, I mean, we're still doing it. We don't put any effort into it, into pushing it out,
marketing it, or yeah.
Like these, I've got multiple. I get multiple a week of people being like, hey, can I be on your show? Will you interview me? And it's like, who are you? No, like, I don't know who you are. Some I'm interested in. So hold your breath, Spaceman. Go ahead. Back to the topic.
So
yes.
Here's there's like, just as you were talking
over and over, so much talking.
Sure. It's funny because, like, yeah, you choose to point these things out about, like, Dr. Mario and stuff. And maybe it's just my nature. I don't know. I've never felt like those were things that you were like, look how cool I am. Like, to me, it was always just kind of the funny thing. That's why I was laughing so much when you were talking about Dr. Mario, because I thought, it's Dr. Mario. Like,
yeah.
Right. And admittedly, I am, except when it comes to you, I am ridiculously not competitive.
Yeah, I used to think I wasn't, but now I'm like, maybe I am.
Yeah, I'm not. I really just, like, I couldn't care less about.
I think you mean you could care less. I'm just kidding. Go ahead. Irregardless, Michael.
Right. Irregardless. No, like, I couldn't care less about, like, we were playing some game the other night as a family. And I don't even remember what happened, but Allie's like, Dad, could you just pretend to care a little bit about the fact that you're losing? And I'm like, no, I can't. I don't care. Yeah. Like, it's Clue. I don't care. Right.
It's yeah.
And so, like I said, maybe it's just my nature to be like, I mean, he doesn't really think he's all that because of Dr. Mario. But I also feel like I know you, and I feel like, no, that's not how you define yourself. Like, I know that in the grand scheme of things, it's not something that you place great importance on. Right. Yeah. But, like, I don't know. One thought I had as you were talking, that was just my disclaimer, because I don't know why. One thought I had as you were talking was, I think we often I think we think of confidence incorrectly sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Um, a lot like the way we think of trust. Like we tend to think of trust as a blanket. You either have it or you don't.
A
And
blanket. Okay.
confidence, yeah, like you've either got the blanket on or you don't have the blanket on. Um, and I think we do the same thing with confidence. You either have confidence or you don't have confidence. But I think in both instances, it's incorrect. I think confidence and trust and lots of things are much more situational than they're not. I think as you start to piece together confidence in a handful of things, then like they'll start to kind of bleed into each other. And that's where the whole blanket idea comes from, right?
Uh-huh.
Because we just have confidence in so many things and so many things start to overlap.
Yeah.
And so we see them, right? And we start to think, oh, yeah, I'm confident. Yeah, you're still like, I could still probably find something you're not confident in because that's the way we work. Like, do I think anyone is ever truly confident in everything? No, if I met someone, I would say that they're either a narcissist or lying.
Uh-huh.
Right. And I would lean towards lying. No, they're lying. They just don't want to share the thing they're not confident about.
Right.
Which weirdly is its own show of a lack of confidence. Um, but so I like to me in terms of building it and recognizing it, and that's why your exercise of writing nice things about yourself on the mirror. I'm like, yeah, you're putting down things that you feel confident in. And you're saying them over and over again, which is going to increase your confidence.
Right.
I've said it oftentimes on here, like the minute we have to say something out loud, our brain or write it, I think it's more effective to say it out loud, but it's true with writing too, but our brain has to process the information differently. And so if you're saying, you know, like to me, going back to your skill at puzzles, like clearly you just see some,
but not the others.
Sure. But you like, I just think like, I was thinking this the other day as I was, you know, like in one of the games that we played on LinkedIn, I was like a full minute behind you. And I thought I'd gone pretty quick.
Yeah.
And I think I even beat the average by like 8 seconds. But if I beat the average by 8 seconds and I was a minute behind you, like I was like, well, dang, like what the crap? And I thought, yeah, this must just be something Rob sees. For whatever reason, whatever combination of like learning or the way your brain functions, like you just see it.
Yeah. Yeah. For Zip, for Zip, most of the time I can just see it.
Yeah.
Actually,
And so
Zip is kind of funny.
What now?
I was going to say Zip actually the more I think about it, the more it's like, just start going. And I just start going like, okay. Yeah. Anyway. But
the worst days are when I'm like, yeah, but it took me longer, but I got flawless. And then I see you guys also got flawless. And I'm like, okay, so it just took
sometimes
me longer.
Though it's like, that took me 2 minutes and 37 clears. Like, so, but here's what I've been thinking about actually as we talked about this. There's a little bit of, we've talked about the book before, Thinking Fast and Slow, Daniel Kahneman, where he actually mentioned specific research about the people who like tell themselves these good things. They are happier people. They report like because they do this thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I've thought about this idea of like even watching Sam Malone when he's like, I'm the luckiest guy in the world. And thinking about, and this is a really gross, terrible, paraphrasing, summarizing, and just ripping apart some of what Daniel Kahneman talks about in other areas of his research. But there's an idea of, I don't even know if I heard this from him, but I know he has some overlapping things about the way you narrate your life. And unfortunately, most humans that I meet, our tendency is to narrate things negatively.
Yeah.
Instead of saying, and this is the thing that I've wanted to put into my kids because I think I want it in me so bad, is the ability to say, like, I can adapt. Like, it doesn't matter what, like, I don't want to know that I'm a good therapist. I mean, that's great. I want to know that I'm a good worker, so that if this all blew up, it's okay. I know how to work. I'll go get a job somewhere else and I'll succeed in that job because I know how to work. Like, you can't take away my ability and willingness to work. I mean, I guess you could take away my ability and crush my legs, but like, do the old, that's true. And I excelled there too. Actually, I was horrible as a telemarketer. It wasn't telemarketing, it was teleresearch. And I was horrible at it. And I was going to quit after a month. And they're like, you want to be a supervisor? I was like, is that all it takes? Threaten to quit? Because my numbers don't account for it. Anyway, but I think this idea, part of what I'm getting at today and what I want more for me and what I was talking about with my kid is like, I didn't phrase it this way. I think it's this idea of like, you got to build a narrative for yourself that's like, that's like, for example, things work out, or, like, everyone's good at something, right? And even if you're, like, just average at everything, it's like, okay, you don't have to be, most people I meet are not the top of anything. I'm the only person I can say is the top of Dr. Mario.
Yeah, but well, yeah.
I can't wait to meet somebody who's like, Rob, let's play online. I will destroy you. And
well,
it's like,
so here's the thing that's like going along with this. This is the thing that's been interesting to me is like throughout our conversation today, there is such an there's such a comparative aspect to our conversation today.
Okay. Yeah.
And I've just thought of it recently, like it was, and it's like built into how we hear things, right? Like there's someone I know that I like, if you say, man, it's cold. Oh, this is nothing compared to where, right?
Yeah.
Where I used to live, kind of thing. And I think, and I did it, right? Like, this place isn't as humid. Like, you'll be fine. It's not that humid. Where it's like, why do we do that? Why do we turn everything into some kind of a comparative? Like, I'm sorry, if it's below 32 degrees, technically it's freezing. Like, I don't even have to say it's cold. I could say, man, it's freezing. And that's a true statement. But somehow we hear, oh, I'm tougher than you. I don't even think it's cold. Look at me, I'm wearing shorts.
Yeah,
you're an idiot, dude. Because 32 degrees is going to do the same thing to your legs, whether you got, shorts on and want to say it's warm. Your body doesn't care. Like, the cold is going to do what it's going to do regardless.
Yeah.
But it's just one of those things where it's like, how do we change that conversation so that it's not like, okay, so you do meet someone who's better at Dr. Mario than you?
No.
Even if you did, so what?
I won't, but continue. I get that. Right. I get the way out there hypothetical. I get it.
Right. But hypothetically, so what? So they're better than you at Dr. Mario.
Yeah.
Right? Like, okay.
This is like what we talked about before. We've talked about our friend John Howell, who's just he that guy's loves so impressive. He loves competition.
Yeah.
And he'll trash talk you a little bit, but he is so encouraging and supportive of the person he's playing against. It's like, are you just like the sport of competition? I've learned about myself, I'm competitive in the worst kinds of ways. It's like, I must be better than you. But only, well, I don't even know if that's true. It's funny because as I've thought about it, I'm like, I don't know. Do I really like hinge? I don't walk away from a night of playing up the river, down the river, and feel like I'm like, I got to work on this. I suck, or if Marianne beats me at Dr. Mario, I just make jokes out of it.
Yeah.
The same thing is true if I beat you in any, it's like, I just want to make jokes out of it. We'll all be buddies.
Yeah.
Because everything to me is material.
Right. Which is probably why as you sit and, like you talk about like Dr. Mario and and I think, yeah, but that's not actually a thing of importance to you.
No, it's just fun to play.
Right. Like I think, yeah. And so a lot of it comes back to, I think, what we were saying before, which is, what do you derive your worth from?
Yeah.
Like if the thing you derive your worth from is Dr. Mario or being, being the best pie maker, which has, been my hobby for a year, or if it's being that, then I think, yeah, you might be looking at the wrong things.
Right. That's why I think it matters to say good things about yourself that are character things.
Yeah.
I'm kind, I'm adaptive, I'm funny,
I know how to connect with people.
Yeah, I see humor in life, or I know how to bring a room together, or whatever.
Or even just being able to spot the positive in a thing. Like,
yeah,
I walked outside the other morning and was feeling pretty low, and had been, and I walked outside and it was, I don't know, probably in the 20s somewhere, which for me is delightful. I love the 20s. It was like cold and like, but when it gets that cold, it just feels clean.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's just a cleanness to it. And the sun was out and it was bright and it was shiny and I could see my breath. And despite being 48, I still get excited about seeing my breath like I'm a 5-year-old.
Me too.
And yeah, like I freaking
people
love
walk
it.
around and just have conversations with their breath coming out of their mouth like it's no big deal. Yeah. I finished my run this morning. I took my beanie off and I could see in the thing my head's just steaming like crazy.
Yeah, when the picture I sent you guys from shoveling, I had taken I could see like steam coming off my whole body, not just my head. Yeah. Like I was so warm, it was coming like through the coat. It was everywhere.
It's funny.
I mean, admittedly, it was like the real feel was like -5 or 6 or something like that. But it's just one of those where, right, like I just like I was feeling down. And I thought I don't want to feel this way all day, and I just looked and I said, "Man, look how beautiful it is today." And I love the cold, and I could see my breath. And so I walked to the car, which is like 30 feet, and I'm like, just so I can see like big plumes of my breath come out. And it's one of those, right? Like there are just those little things where if you can identify them, like it flipped. Like I had a much better day than I would have had likely.
Yeah.
Being able to identify that. And just being able to say like, oh yeah, like that was good that I did that. It was, I was good at that. Am I always good at that? Maybe, maybe not, but I was then. And that's, I think part of it is you don't even have to identify something that you are always good at. I think you can celebrate the times you are good at it.
Right.
And let your confidence build off of that experience.
Well, and here's, to me, one of the reasons I brought this up is because it has been something I've been thinking about. Like I can feel myself dip in and out, which people don't, I think, expect from me because of the way I talk, like I'm the best thing ever. But excuse me. I think so many men I know struggle with like a strong confidence or sense of self because we do compare ourselves a ton.
Mm-hmm.
And then I watch dudes in relationships, and this goes back to what we talked about so many times on this show, which is how many men are afraid of their wives. Yeah. It's like, yeah, you got to know you'll be okay. Like you can speak confidently, just say, I don't like this. That's okay. All of these things, it's like saying that comes from a place of saying, no, I know I'm a good person. I know I'm good at these things. I like this or this. Saying nice things about yourself is something you should do every single day out loud, I believe, so that you can hear them. Mm-hmm. Do it in the shower where nobody else can hear you. Or whatever, but say it out loud. It's like, hey, I like this about me. I'm good at this or whatever. Make it a matter of routine, not just I try to call it up when I need it because that doesn't work if it's not routine.
Yeah.
Because then I feel like when you can do that and build this kind of sense of self, this is what Kahneman would call your remembering self. And then your experiencing self, which is like what life is when you're in the moment. I think you're better able to plug into in the moment. You're less in your head. You're more likely to just be like, hey, everyone's got a different experience. What's yours? You're not thinking through like, well, is mine better than yours? What if you told me you're better at Dr. Mario? Would I be like, oh yeah? Or would I be like, dude, tell me why you love it so much. Tell me what you do. How often do you see doubles? How often do you get a triple or even a quadruple? It's so dumb. Because I think that then you're actually like, not only do you have a good narrative for yourself for life, but then you're actually experiencing the life you want to experience. And it feels like, okay, this is cool. Like there's so much in life we can't control anyway. Control the things you can. Be nicer to yourself. Say cooler things about yourself. And scene. I don't know. Did you have anything else you wanted to add?
No,
this is seriously. It's like how I end my episode, or not my episodes, my sessions. It's like, well, get the crap out of here.
Yeah.
I'll be like, well, I gotta go. People, because it's funny. Like I'm curious to see what people would tell their friends. Like, yeah, my therapist always says this. Because sometimes people are like, they'd be like, yeah, I had this one therapist. He'd always be like, let's put a pin in that. He's like, didn't matter what I said. He'd go, let's put a pin in that. And it's like, he could be like, my dad just killed himself last night. Let's put a pin in that. He'd be like, and I'm always like, well, get the crap out of here. All right. So be nice for yourself. Say good things about yourself. That's the tip, I guess. And don't forget to start reading 10% Happier if you haven't. And then come back next time when Matt, the dill hole. Oh, Matt wasn't here today. We were supposed to talk about how he's a dill weed for not being here.
Yeah.
I don't even know what the reason was. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, I don't either.
Care.
Maybe he had to shift an appointment to deal with his lease.
He texted us, and just so all the spacemen know, he's like, hey, tell the spacemen I hate them. I hate this. And I was like, whoa. Yeah. Matt, they're going to take that real hard. So come back next time and find out why you love us more than Matt on the ManSpace. Pips!